Hello everybody, welcome back to the Wattpad Book Club. I'm your host, Phoenix, and today I have my lovely wife in call with me once again. I have Joline.
Hey!
Joline, I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Because the last time we read this book, all of our favorite characters came back to life, and I'm scared that Jinx is gonna have a mental episode.
Well, we'll find out soon on this episode. Star Collection.
My favorite character, Clanker, is back. I wasn't expecting this. Is that not what it is?
No, his name is Clacker.
Clacker. Clank. I'm gonna tell Weirdo that. My favorite character in Arcane is Clanker, and watch as they ask what the hell am I talking about.
That's so funny.
I might text them that during the recording, just to see what happens. But yeah, we're back with more Arcane. We're here. We're definitely queer. It's the end of Prime Month though, so I guess we're going back in the closet after this. Good thing I cleaned it, so I have space.
Not me. I'm just gonna shove myself at the bottom.
Oh, it's okay. I got room in my closet. We can play card games. We can play like Spin the Bottle.
Whoa, I'm in your closet?
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
wow,
yeah, you're in my closet.
Well, it's a bit of a tight fit, but you guys get it. That closet is what you have. I've seen it.
Yeah, the problem is getting the other door open because there's plushies in the way. But we'll figure it out. Oh, but yeah, more Arcane, and yes, I still haven't watched season 2.
Crazy.
Just to let everyone know. Alright, what to remember from last time, other than everyone coming to life?
The alternate universe where they're all alive.
Yes. Yeah, they traveled to a different timeline because they needed to get rid of the Arcane, like these little orb things.
Mm-hmm.
So they traveled to this dimension to do it, and everyone happens to be alive. And I think Jinx is gonna fucking crash out at some point.
I guess, yeah. I mean, she might, who knows? Who's to say?
She fucking better.
I'm kind of excited to see how she better. What do you mean?
I need her to have a mental breakdown.
Why?
Because I think it's funny.
That's wild.
Listen, Jinx is my least favorite character, alright? She pisses me off all the time. So people read torture fan fiction out there of like characters they don't like getting tortured in some kind of way. So like, why
people
can't I wish that?
Fan fiction of characters they love getting tortured.
Exactly. So why can't I, a simpleton out here, get that wish? a reasonable ask.
I guess we'll have to wait. We'll have to see.
Oh yeah, coin. Heads or tails?
The heads. I'm kind of so uncertain, but yeah, heads.
It is heads.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My leaves. Milo's voice rings in my ears. A whip of warmth coated my skin. It amazed me how the sequence of events was almost identical compared to my last visit. They even spoke word for word. Oh, stop it, I said, brushing off his phrase. Come on, sit down. Jinx gave me a sharp look, as if disapproving of their welcome. That action alarmed me, as I twitched with worry. I tried to read her momentary expression, but nothing was taking me close to understanding. What was the problem? Whoa, Pleasure called out. What's with the scowl powder? You guys had a lover quarrel or something? Lovers, Jinx shouted, standing up. Her stool squeaked with friction. Alright, we need to get out of here, I thought. Milo nudged Clagger. Bad timing, smarty pants. Hey guys, sorry, but we should probably get going. I stood up, putting my hand on the small of Jinx's back to lead her out. I was surprised you didn't slap it away this time. See you tomorrow? Sure, King. Sure. I don't know why Sure King is so funny. Milo said, giving me a small nod, acknowledging the reason for our leave. We went out the door. Tomorrow? You want to tell me how long we're planning on staying here? Jinx said as soon as we were outside. I scratched the back of my head, still unsure what was going in Jinx's head. Even though it was bothering me, I decided to drop it for now. I think we'll have to stay here longer than I thought. We've been here 5 minutes already, and already have a problem? It's nothing we can't fix, I started, realizing we were about to diverge from my intended path. I made a sharp turn. Come on, I have something to show you. Oh, I miss my old crib. Didn't think I would see it again, Jinx said. When we arrived at the mine shaft she used to live in, I was grateful for her newly peaceful state, especially after her outbursts at the bar. It looked weird though, don't you think? It's different, I answered casually. I would say something about her parallel universe self living here, but I didn't want her to freak out again. There's so much engineering crap, yet it's still organized somehow. Fan blades don't have any funky doodles and follow aesthetic patterns. Bow ring and fencing? That's no fun. Who put up those metal bars around? Your alternate self cares about safety far more than you do. And these paintings? I hate it for how beautiful they are, but oh. 7 burning candles caught her attention at the edge of the gigantic blade, all representing a year since her sister's death. Jinx came closer to the memorial corner, picking up the Vi doll. I lowered my gaze to the floor, allowing myself to feel a rush of sadness for the mourning our alternate family had to endure. You know, I had a doll like this here from Milo and Flagger. She ran her fingers through those tiny yarn strands, meant to be Vi's hair. I know, I thought. Do you know what happened here? It was the explosion at that apartment in Piltover, I told her. And? She caught off guard again. What do you mean, and? That's it? I put my palms to the ceiling, confused by her inquiry. So, Vi had to die for everyone else to have perfect lives? Jinx, I don't... Unfucking believable. I've had enough of her fit. Jinx, stop it. She looked at me surprised. I know you're having a hard time with this, but don't act like I didn't go through it all, like, I don't know how it feels. Heck, I didn't even have one to talk to then. At least you have me. I told you who was here before we went to the bar. I told you we had to sit in, and you ruined it all with your performance. And who the hell yells at friends that you haven't seen in over a decade? Now we're here, and I'm telling you what happened. But you seem to forget that we did not live through this. There's no reason to be upset about what didn't happen to us. We have no control over our timeline, just as much as we didn't have control over this one. Universes are different this way. They have different sequences, different outcomes. That's how this works. I took a deep breath. It was a lot more words than I wanted to say. You wanted to come here just as much as I did. You knew the risk. You knew it would be different. We'll do our job and get out of here since you hate this place so much. Her stare was deep in my angry eyes. She did that half blink that people do when they're afraid tears will roll down if they shut their eyes fully. She didn't say a word. I couldn't even hear her breathing. The visible pain in her eyes made me bite my lips together. I was drowning in the overwhelming feeling of anger and regret, which I now feel in every organ of my body. I should have never opened my mouth. I'll be back. I need to go, I said, turning away from her. I crooked my spine and to disappear from her view quicker, shoving my hands in my pocket. As I was leaving, her recent agonizing stare was imprinted in my vision, her eyes dishing out resentment. It bugged me that I couldn't remember if they were pink or blue. I rummaged through Ben's clothes, finding a cloak. Perfect, I thought. I tried it on, and it was far too big and for my kiddish build. Finding scissors on my nightstand, I cut the cloak in half to cover my height properly. I put it on again. Sorrow filled me as Ben's scent reached my nostrils. I didn't think his clothes would retain parts of him for so many months after his passing. Wiping my tears away, I collected my big boy strength and grabbed what I needed and left. I only had one goal: save powder. Soon I was on the roof of Silco's lair, watching my steps carefully to avoid making unnecessary noises. I noticed a small, round window with a diameter the size of my forearm. Wiped the condensation off with the back of my palm and squinted. She was there. I checked to make sure no one was in the room with her before seeing my knuckles on the glass. She turned her head to sound. Her eyes were bulging red, her cheeks glossy from tears. She's been crying for hours. What was Sufil doing to her? She furrowed her eyebrows and lowered her chin enough to be staring at me through her eyelashes. I had no idea she was capable of giving such a frightening stare, but when she turned away, what frightened me was more that she didn't open the window. I took out a thin wire and poked and up to unlock the window from the outside and popped it open. Powder? No answer. It took me a long time to find you, her back still facing me. I'm here to rescue you. I can get you out. I don't need your rescuing, she said, her voice deep and unrecognizable, lost all of its charm. But Powder, she jumped at me quicker than lightning. I fell down, hard on my spine. I'm Jinx. Powder fell down a well. When I caught my breath, I stood up. She needed my help, and she needed help so badly. You're Powder, I reminded her. Come on, let's get out of here. I reached for her hand. Yet, the moment she noticed, the palm went straight to my face. The pain of her contact burned my skin. I pressed my cold hand over the irritated cheek, and I watched her grunt in anger with Fist by her side. She was ready for a fight. I wasn't. I didn't want to hurt her. That's not what I came for. Go away, she yelled at me. I was her best friend, and now she's demanding I go away? The shivers that ran over me were sharp and uncomfortable. I miss you so much, I said, feeling tears build up in my eyes. You're my only family. Silco's my family. Burning fire in my chest. Get out. I didn't move. Get out now, she screamed, crying. I hesitantly crawled up the window, hoping, praying for her to say something back, something to make me stay. Don't ever come back. I jumped out. As I rolled down the roof, I didn't care to grab onto anything. It didn't matter. I landed on the pavement hard, but nothing beat the pain of Powder hitting me. I stayed there, outside, laying on the pavement in Benzo's stupid cloak, sobbing harder than I ever have in my life. I was alone. Everyone was gone, and no one would come for me. I could stay here for days, weeks. I could die here, and no one would care. When I heard footsteps, I looked up for the first time in hours. My eyelids felt heavy from all the salt water they were swimming in. It was a boy. What you crying for? He asked. It was Scar. He saved me that night, and I left him at the sanctuary to take care of everything on his own. I left him for someone who wanted nothing to do with me. Jinx. I don't know why I paused for so long. I just didn't see the name.
Fuck, man, this shit good. Fuck. Maybe I will finish Arcane.
What?
Maybe I will start season 2.
Will you? Will you really?
Okay, I promise on Thursday, because I don't have the Netflix account. It's not mine. You know, Netflix cracked down, so I can't like have it on different places. So when I'm home Thursday, I promise I will load up season 2, episode 1.
Oh wow!
I promise.
I don't know.
Just so I can be a more educated Jinx hater.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, that's the best way of doing that, you know? Getting into a piece of media that you hate just to be educated on its problems.
You know what? I guess you're right.
Ball knowledge. Alright, 18. Jinx. I couldn't help myself. I had to get rid of it. I stared and stared and stared at the stupid fencing. What did that girl see in this? It was crooked, wonky, ugly. Actually, it was... Ah, fuck. Atrocrus? I don't know what this word is, Joline. I'll move on. Eventually, I gave in to my intrusive thoughts and kicked the metal bars.
Sorry, hold on. I was on the wrong chapter.
Oh.
I was like, huh? Atrocious.
Atrocious. That's how you spell atrocious?
I guess so.
I don't need a lot of books. My blazing eyes wouldn't dare to look at it any longer. To my disappointment, only a tiny section fell down the shaft. The exposed perimeter wasn't even a meter long. How did I have to kick every single bar to get rid of them? My grunts seemed to dissipate in the heat in me. I exhaled to have released the final residues of my madness and reached my palm to my eyes, pressing them firmly in my sockets. The darkness felt nice. I appreciated the peace I had just sympathized for myself. Vi's doll was the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes. She landed between my feet, looking so small and helpless. I picked her up. He's right, isn't he? I asked the doll in my hands. Her yarn hair was hanging, covering her button eyes. You'd agree. I jinxed every job, right? The button eyes were very large. Don't look at me like that. Your words, sister, not mine. I set the edge of the blade, right where I kicked the fence off. I let my feet wiggle in the air. Then, as if by reflex, I laid my back down, relaxing each of my vertebrae. My shoulder blades rubbed against the cool metal. He didn't tell me anything about you, or Vander, or anyone. He told me a few hours ago. And he thinks I'm supposed to pretend like it's all okay. I let that thought brew for a bit. I don't know why he didn't tell me. Because I wouldn't have come if he did. That boy was smart. He knew me well enough to wait until the last minute to tell me. See, in this universe, I never used that shiny blue thing. I never used it to make a bomb, and it never killed anyone. And he didn't want me to face the horrible truth of it. In fact, being my fault that they all died. I mean, she is right. They all did die. I raised my arms, straightening them, so that Vi would be directly above my face. You know what's funny? It shocked me more that they're all alive than finding out that you're dead here. I guess hell is where you'd find me, since life gives me the creeps so much more than death does. Kinda sucks that you lived in a shitty universe and died in a heavenly one. Your luck, I added. I turned my head sideways and looked at the candles. They were pretty and it was annoying. Neon lighting would have been much better. My gaze shifted on my reflection on the small mirror. The space buns were really throwing me off, but I could ignore them. I missed my blue hair, though. I stretched my arms, forming a gun with my fingers. A grin formed at the side of my real middle finger. I pointed my hand-shaped pistol to the mirror. Pow! I whisper, bringing the tips of my fingers to my mouth to blow out the invisible smoke. Powder? What? Someone's here? I immediately jumped up, clumsily hitting my elbow on the edge of the railing. Looking up, I found a big tall guy. His eyes were small, yet overflowing with kindness. His lips thin, with a tender smile that spread across. He always made my blood run warm, just with his presence. It occurred to me in that moment how much I missed him. Oh, hey, Clagger. Didn't see you there. I let out a fake chuckle in hopes of covering my jinxness. How long has that been broken? He asked, staring at the open edge. You could fall, you know? It's nothing. I'll fix it up in no time, I said, dragging my words like some bozo. Thought I switched the topic. What's up? You need me? I'm at your disposal. No, it was pretty bad, huh? What was? I asked, placing Vi by the candles where we found her. The fight between you and Ekko. My brow knitted at the thought of Ekko, not knowing what I can disclose. I choose to remain silent, Vi's button eyes supporting my decision. I know what you cheer you up. Clagger places a brawny arm across my shoulders. How about some delicious, out-of-this-world lunch? What do you say? That doesn't sound so bad. It wasn't long before we were satisfying our hunger with loads of food at Vander's. I let Clagger do most of the talking. Didn't really know what I could say, what I couldn't. Besides, I wasn't in the mood for conversation. He yapped about a project he was working on to purify the air down here, some cool kids that he ran into in the streets, and a bit of some competition. It seemed most important to him. A little later, Milo and Ekko showed up at the door. The four of us were together again. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. How much time did real Ekko and Powder spend with them? I don't know. Oh goody, you guys are already here, Milo greeted us, fixing his mustache as he sat down at our table. So did Ekko. I gave him a passive glance. He didn't seem too happy with me either. Finally. Talking to Powder is like talking to a wall. No difference, Clogger added. I nudged him to let him know his sarcasm was heard, but was unappreciated. Alright, you two have got to stop with this pouting, Milo started. I got a date for tonight. Ekko looked at him wide-eyed. Yeah, imagine that. I've got a date. Suddenly, I heard Ekko's claps resonate in the space as he mocked the guy. Thank you, thank you. Point is, if I got a date, that means love is definitely in the air and that you need to fix whatever's going on here. Come on, Clag. He motioned for Clogger to leave us alone, which he did. Ekko was already staring at me when I looked over. We held each other's gazes for so long that my eyes went dry. You heard them, I said. He continued staring. Admirably now. Can you at least tell me what the situation is here so I can put my acting skills to use? He smirked, glad that I considered what he said at the shaft. I'll play pretend. I'll be Powder for a while. Whatever it takes to destroy the gemstones, I'm ready for it. I traveled to a different universe for fuck's sake. Could it get any more extreme? They're watching, you know, he said calmly, relaxed as if he was drunk. I was starting to think that maybe he was. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, I replied, without pulling my gaze away from him to match the tension he was brewing between us. It was a strange tension, an unfamiliar blend of remorse and desire. Whatever was going on in that brilliant mind of his, I wouldn't ever be able to guess. Let this be our first act, for them, he said casually, finally cutting our eye-to-eye string as he stood up. He moved from sitting across from me to sitting beside me. He placed his arm around my back, pretending to someone that I was claimed by him. I wasn't a fan of anyone claiming me, but it didn't break character. I knew what he was trying to do. Jinx, I beg you. He spoke quietly, just so that I could hear. I'm about to do some explaining, don't freak. Okay, I won't. I obliged, surprised by my own lack of resistance. Maybe him being this close to me had hypnotized me, my skin still quivering from the heat of its arm. We traveled not only to a different universe, but also traveled back in time. I thought the multiverse machine that I used years ago would be here, but turns out he turned to face me. I have not built it yet. His eyes were so close to me that I could see through his irises. What do we do? I asked, incapable of thinking of anything else to say. I hated and loved his effect on me simultaneously. Hope you don't mind, he started, leaning closer to me. After seeing a hint of approval in my eyes, we will build it again, he finished, whispering in my ear. I felt the warmth of his breath on my neck as he spoke. Greater waves of air hitting my skin with every I know this word. It's the opposite of a vowel.
Got it.
Consonant?
Yeah, consonant.
Yeah, he pronounced. If only he leaned over just a tad bit more, his lips would caress my skin. Suddenly, it was the only thought spiraling in my head. He was so close. Many seconds after he spoke, he was still hovering around my neck. I heard him inhale sharply and felt the warmth of it as he exhaled. Just one kiss. One peck. That's all I wanted. The desire came with a halt once he pulled away. Somehow, I knew that this was the end of our act, but I started to wonder if we were really acting. I'm gonna punch my fucking wall!
You're gonna punch the wall, that's great.
Make out, please! That's all I want!
The cadence you said that reminded me of that guy. What's his name? The guy who's like, he's pulling his cock out.
Moist Critical?
Yeah, I don't know why that reminded me of that.
He's pulling his cock. Guys, the Ekko and Jinx situation is crazy.
It is crazy. Okay. I was starting to head back to Vanguard's after getting more supplies from a machine. It was much easier to find things we needed here. Things are more civilized, organized. People knew where to go to find things. There was less hiding, less secret, less fights on the street. I guess Delco and Vander's relationship really turned things around here. When at the kiosk by the bridge, I looked over the border, remembering how we crossed it to find the Arcane. I realized that it was still there. I had to go get it. If we were getting rid of the gemstones, we had to get rid of this too. With the decision made up, I stepped forward. Not clearly remembering the location of the apartment, I roamed the streets for a while, until I caught the sight of a rustic, damaged building. I never understand why Piltovins never took care of it. It took me ages to collect all the lost pieces. My fingers were cramping up by the time I finished. By placing the last piece among the others, they all sparkled with energy, disrupting the quiet, zen atmosphere of my workspace. I carefully capped the container, storing it in my bag. I briefly entertained the idea of having to do this again sometime, quickly realizing the odds of repeating this for the third time were slim. Next thing I knew, I was at Vander's, watching him and Jinx having a blast making drinks together. This quite surprised with her skill, as if she didn't think to hide her newly trained bartender skills. I held my eyes and she showed off another trick. Classic Jinx. Ah, my Mr. arrived. She greeted me with the warmest smile. Can I mix up something for you for your generous hard work? Oh, you're taking over my bar now, eh? Vander called out to Jinx. I just might. She gave him a teasing smirk. It was impossible to ignore the fresh glow of joy radiating from her swift movement. As if the air around her rejoiced from her presence, she moved like a gilded angel, shining under the rays of a cosmic star of a distant ethereal galaxy. Damn! I want him to describe me like that. That's kind of crazy.
Don't worry, you'll find someone. I'm manifesting it.
With a graceful step to the side, she left behind an imprint of herself in the space that was now deprived of her, a silhouette of emptiness and sadness that ached from her departure. Either my retinas were seared from staring at her perfect beauty, or the space in which she stood grieved her leaves dispirited. Let me read the comments here, actually. Yeah, they're real for that. She's incredibly beautiful when she was happy. Jinx never glowed like this. It was the powder in her. You hungry at all? She asked, taking me out of my dream-like hypnosis. No. My anxiety spoke quickly for me. Thanks, but can I talk to you about our project? Sure, Dozer. Shoot. I glanced over at Vander. It didn't seem he was paying attention to our conversation, but he would hear our discussions if we talked here. Jinx caught on at his very statement. Want to take a walk? So we went out. You've had a good couple days here, I see, I said, starting small talk. Warstoy smiled. Yeah, I guess I have. She watched her feet as she walked. I forgot how nice it is to be part of the family. We were the same in that sense, ripped out of loving families. We spent our entire lives trying to process the pain it brought, yet it always managed to creep out and disrupt our day-to-day functions. Like some parasite that crawled under our skin too rapidly and too unpredictably to be caught and eradicated. I wish I could see this world, she mumbled, her head still down. We walked in silence for a while, until I decided to crack the stillness. I told her about the things I picked up for the engines, and that we could start work anytime now. It would be easier this time around, since we've already done it once. I showed her the container of the arcane particles I found, which she was fascinated by. We ended up stopping by the area where my old hideout used to be. There was more greenery here than I remembered. The water, crystal clear. I cut my hands together and reached for the shallow water, killing the lilies with my fingers. Unthinkingly, in a swift motion, I flicked my hands in Jinx's direction. He flicked from the splash. Hey! She shouted playfully, as I grabbed my stomach laughing. Slight nervousness pinched me at the sight of her reaching to wet her own hand. Realizing she was about to copy my move, I readied myself to flee from the splash attack, but I was too late. I shrieked from the cold droplets that touched my skin. Thought you could run away from me, mister? Oh, thy majesty. Such a thought could not have possibly crossed my mind. She laughed at my theatrical remark. Such a wonderful sound. Still giggling, she came closer to me, placing her forearm on my shoulder, leaning on it. I waited for her to say something, but she only stared at my eyes, then down to my nose, and momentarily at my lips. After her focus moved instantly back to my eyes, I felt a rush of oxytocin.
Joline, I need them to kiss. I'm gonna kill myself.
Bro, real. Just like a little peck. Not even a little peck.
I'm just saying they gotta play the part because they're supposed to be dating right now. They're not doing a job.
No, it's the hand holding.
Give me more.
Dazed, I didn't realize how she pulled the back of my shirt and placed something in the cavity before she ran off. The thing was cold and wet and glided down my back. I reached to relieve the discomfort. It was a flower, a water lily. An uncontrollable smile grew across my face. You better not think you could get away with that, I exclaimed, chasing her through the puddles. She squealed in excitement. We ran around the tree in circles until I thickened my face and caught her from the back, wrapping my hands around her waist. Gotcha. We laughed and screamed like little kids, both damp from all the splashes. She pretended to pull away, but I wouldn't let her go. Not now. She eventually ceased her fake struggles and leaned the back of her head on my shoulder, looking up at me. I loosened my grip, reacting on the sudden disassociation that filled my consciousness. Oh, yeah, she was ready. I saw it in her eyes, clear as ever, telling me without speaking. Naturally, I leaned closer, observing her reaction. She stayed still. Good. I edged forward, starting to close my eyes, but felt her hand on my chest and as she slowly pulled me away. Did I misunderstand?
I'm gonna kill myself.
She began. Who's the friend you wanted to see? What? I was puzzled. What friend? So when you were building the multiverse machine for, you wanted to see a friend. Oh, was that bothering her? Or like she's been distant? Noticing my lack of response, she pulled out my notebook from her bag. I brought it here in case we would need it, but why was she pulling it out now? She flipped through the pages until she reached the last page, the last one I wrote anything on, and presented it to me, drawing with powder with a quote scribbled on the bottom. Always and only for you. A silent gasp filled my lungs. How long has she known for? I thought it was your first girlfriend, but when I saw it, but when we came here I saw these things. She pointed at her hair, and I wasn't so sure anymore. I lost her words. I thought about lying, then couldn't find a reason to. Then I thought about brushing it off, but she was so direct. I couldn't possibly do that either. I resorted to just revealing the truth. It's powder, I finally said. She looked up at me with anticipating and hungry eyes. She made my time here bearable. She made things okay. I stopped to check on Jinx. She was listening, still hungry-eyed, and I went on. After you disappeared, I tried everything to go back to her. Her gaze lowered in sadness. Then you came back, and I didn't have to try anymore. It all lost its purpose. She looked back up at me, clearly hurt. Lost its purpose? Why? You still could have came here without me. It's not like I'm her. But you are her, I grunted in frustration. She still wasn't getting it. In her mind, her identity was split into two opposites, black and white, Jinx and Powder. She pulled them apart to poles so distant, incompatible, the idea of their fusion appeared appalling to her, when, in my eyes, she was both. She was Jinx as much as she was Powder. There was nothing incompatible between the two. No, Ekko. I'm Jinx. Maybe Jenny, but I'm not Powder, she said calmly, but seriously. My mind wandered in thought, trying to think of ways to break through to her. That's what you convinced yourself of, I started, hoping this perspective would edge her to think differently, but there's no change in her dull expression. You put her so far behind you that you can't even see her in yourself anymore. But I do. Every day. In her smile, in your actions, in the things you say, the things you do. He is there. I paused collecting my thoughts. You believe me? I believe you want to get rid of Jinx so they can have your sweet powder back, she said dismissively. No. You're not seeing this right, I thought. I couldn't let this argument diverge. Just for a second. Forget out names, okay? I need you to understand that Jinx is just a label you put on the traits you've already had. You've struggled much more than the you in this universe. So naturally, the sharp surviving traits flew to the surface, and you called them Jinx. Powder in this universe doesn't have to do that. So you're saying that your girlfriend drawing is Powder is actually me. I couldn't understand why the drawing was so important to her when I was talking about her identity. I was getting desperate. Maybe you'll listen if I put this way. I took a deep breath. Here it goes. I'm not in love with Powder. It's your... I didn't gather enough courage to give you my phrase with that I love. My heart was already flying out of my chest. Powder, Jinx, there's no difference. They're both you. Always have been. It's all you. It was my heart speaking now. I read her body language, searching for acceptance, belief, a transformation, anything that could confirm that the break of her thick, pricked walls behind which she'd been hiding for so long. And for an instant I saw it. She heard me. Her eyes sparkled with the epiphany that... Oh, fuck.
Oh!
Her eyes sparkled with the epiphany that was shooting through her neurons. And then it was gone. I can't be Powder. I'm not. Fuck! Oh, fuck!
I want to punch her!
She said, shaking her head. My heart tightened. Arteries tightened not. You love her. You don't want Jinx. Trust me. She walked away, leaving the echoes in her voice in the air to linger. It was as if she was just holding my glass heart in her hands and she dropped it, letting shattered pieces scatter across the pavement. But she didn't drop it willingly. She dropped it because she couldn't see that she was holding it. The world around her appeared just as distorted as the light that passed through the glass. I watched her size deflate in my view as she walked further and further away. The thoughts warped the insides of my head, and I failed again. For a moment, I thought of giving up would be the right choice. If this hadn't gone through to her, what will? She entered what seemed to be an old doorway and disappeared in the darkness. And just as I was about to leave, I heard her faint voice in the distance. Oh my gosh. Curiosity settled in me. I turned and headed toward the doorway. Jinx was nowhere to be found inside. Jinx? I called out. Over here, she yelled back, and the sound came from below. I found some stairs and went a few flights down. Astonishment filled me from the sight. I stepped into what looked like a miniature train station. Train station? The tunnel elongated at both sides. It's a path that was not as straight as a train track usually is. It curved, and to my surprise, the left curve mirrored the right. The concrete walls of the tunnel were covered with different colored cords, endlessly extending along the ceiling in an organized manner. The gaping hole was staring at me as I stared back into the gigantic pipe. Its diameter increased the closer the pipe's edges were to me, and the empty spaces were filled with a perfect square of reflective iridescent material. I stepped in the stand right in front of the wide gap, the perfect pattern resembling that of a mandala. Wow, I whispered under my breath. I've read about this in the books, but I've never seen one with my own eyes. You're seeing what I'm seeing? Jinx asked, I suppose, preparing for the words that I was about to pronounce. You found a collider.
What the fuck's a collider?
I don't know. Particle collider? The thing that gave, You ever seen Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
The collider. Oh, you scroll down.
Oh, this thing?
I got an image. Yeah, that's the collider.
Okay. I mean, it looks pretty. It looks like a giant engine that are on airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
This thing actually exists. I don't know why that's so mind-blowing to me, but it is. Okay, international. It makes atoms and protons or whatever flies through a huge circular tube until the teeny particles move so fast they smash into each other and bam, makes a new atom?
The particle collider.
Alright, type shit.
Yeah.
Alright, last chapter, 20. Jinx! I can do this. I can read. Once I
believe in you.
Fix how I'm sitting so I don't... I almost said so I don't get carpal tunnel. I just don't want my legs falling asleep on me.
Lord.
I keep setting my legs weird, and I push it against like this handrail on my chair, so it's like indenting my fucking ankle.
Oh.
I don't know why I keep doing that. It's a problem. Look at this thing, I said, running my finger along the colorful cords. It's like someone puked confetti wire. I heard Ekko chuckle behind me. I didn't mean to make him laugh. I was just thinking out loud. Only you can make something like puke confetti wires, he said, attempting to lighten the tension for the fight that we just had. I wasn't having it, and giving him a blank stare. His eyes flickered in embarrassment, just as a smile faded away. I'm just saying, there's a hell of a lot of wires here. Who did all this? Whoever did worked on this recently. Nothing is rusted. Everything looks brand new. Did you know about this last time you were here? I had no clue. We stared at each other for a moment, both feeling a slight worry about this massive an apparatus. That's a reference to the Lethal Company. Anything of this size, in most cases, does big things, and whoever was planning on doing these big things was serious and determined. Would you build a circular tunnel in a diameter of a mile for fun? Exactly. Didn't think so. I kept waiting for him to say something that could soothe this unsettling feeling, but his mouth was zipped. I didn't understand why I was so anxious about this. I wasn't a worried kind of gal. This was new. I saw some chick spy on me in Bilgewater? And told her my entire life story. Didn't care. I wasn't 100% sure it was Ekko's apartment. I broke in anyway. Met my sister for the first time in 8 years. Paid no mind. And then, why does this colander bother me? What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, if Zons gets blown up? I couldn't care. I don't even live here. I don't even live in this world. By the way, I broke the silence with the sun collection. The entrance to get in here was locked. That says something, I said, discussing the secrecy of this project. Ekko gave me this look that I found super annoying. The top of his face said, "Really now?" And the bottom was making fun of me with his smirk. His chin even curled up, making the expression far more acute. Let me guess, he started. You broke the lock to get in? Wow, you're so brilliant. Can't imagine how else I got in here without a key. I rolled my eyes. I'm getting the sense that you just broke locks for fun, he added. Stop talking, I said, heading towards the stairs to leave this place behind. You got a second multiverse machine to make. I ran up the stairs to exit faster than him, hoping to avoid another powder lecture, but he caught up. I tightened my fists to relieve the frustration. Looking from the corner of my eye, his gaze was lowered, eyebrows relaxed, which gave him a sort of melancholy look. So what if he was upset because I grew up and changed? Did he think I was going to stay that 11-year-old girl who botched all jobs? No. I did have to change, and I changed for a good reason. I've been unstoppable as Jinx. Successful, powerful, and he wants me to let that all go to be sweet and gentle Powder. Ugh. He keeps saying that he sees Powder in me. Every time he does, my nerves flinch. He doesn't want to see Jinx. He wants to see the girl he likes. And he wants to see her and me because we're the same body, same personality. Does he realize that we're different people with different histories? Maybe he understands that but ignores it. Still foolishly hoping to get the love of his life back through me. I can't believe he's using me that way. I'm gonna punch Jinx. I'm gonna fight this fucking child. All this time, I thought he had some sort of feelings for me. I mean, there were hints, but turns out he doesn't. The guy likes Powder from this universe. Kind of funny how I first thought the space bun girl was his girlfriend, and then got all excited because it was me, and now I'm realizing that it's neither. I'm gonna fucking get it. Is you. It is you. He was trying to tell you that.
Oh, some people, it happens. Things happen.
I'm gonna bang my fucking hang on a wall. I walked back in silence. I didn't mind it. It was better than endlessly talking about Powder. As long as I heard Ekko's footsteps behind me, the rest didn't matter. Instead, I observed the city. Everyone around was busy, hustling, running here and there. The streets were clean, buildings and houses covered in different colors and decorations. The bright sun rays made everything pop even more than he already had. I realized that the sun has been up every day since we've been here and has seemed to shine far more vibrantly than back home. It must have been from the cleaner air. It wasn't thick with gases here. I smiled to myself, admitting how much I loved it here. Imagine if we lived here. I heard my own voice. Perhaps it was a thought that slipped out loud. Huh? Ekko asked, puzzled, as if returning to the reality of his dazed thoughts. What if it was us that lived in this universe? I clarified. That would be nice, I guess. His voice was unsure. I wondered if he's ever thought about it. Noticing I wasn't carrying on with the dialogue, he added, What, you want to stay? Oh no, I started. It was not what I was thinking. No way we're staying. I just thought about how happy we'd be if we did. Lucky us. That seemed to loosen those tight strings between us a little. We got even looser when we started working on the engines. The repetition of connecting the same wires and hammering the same shades bored us. How long do you think this will take us? I finally asked, wanting to hear something other than the clanks and rattles. I don't know. Depending on how soon we can get a hold of needed material. He tightened a bolt. Besides, we need to find a place to hide the gemstones. Got any ideas? I placed my index on the formula of our blueprints so that not to lose the spot for where I glanced away. I'll think about it. Need to find some notes in Ekko's lab book. I flipped through the pages looking for a diagram. It wasn't showing up as I kept flipping the pages. Eventually I landed on the last page with the powder drawing, and as soon as I did, Ekko snatched the book from me and ripped out the page. He returned the book to me before crumpling the ripped page into a ball and throwing it at the edge of the blade where Vi's memorial was set up. I'm gonna kill myself. Ekko fumbled with the engine for a little longer before asking, How did you hide them in Bilgewater? Still talking about the gemstones. Stunning. Lovely images from my memory flashed by of pirates trying to rip off my necklace. He must have noticed the tightening of my lips before he spoke again as I took a breath for my turn. Unless you used them here. I was assuming you hadn't. He was being awfully cautious with his word choices, probably didn't want to deal with more bickering for me. You're right. I didn't. I paused, not entirely sure of how to continue. He gave me an edging look, as if I was a kid being encouraged to tell the whole truth. What?
Edging?
Joline, now's not the time for edging. I also didn't really hide them. I corrected myself. Ekko tilted his head in misunderstanding. I just kept them on me as a pendant, camouflaged as a necklace, hoping people wouldn't notice, but eventually they did and things happened, so the plan kind of backfired. Is that why you left? As in, came back to Zon? My chest tightened. I lowered my gaze, regarding it immediately after seeing an imprint of Sarah's face on the floor. She went away when I blinked. No, I mumbled, looking down at the tools in my hands and pulling my hands around my stomach. An unexpected sickness came over me. Why did you leave Bilgewater? He asked, ever so tenderly. Why did he keep pushing it today? Haven't we had enough roller coasters? I didn't answer him, obviously not wanting to talk about it, but he insisted by stopping his work and getting up to sit next to me. His close presence was comforting, but I was stubborn, and I looked in the opposite direction. His face was the last thing I wanted to look at right now. You know, Jinx, he started, placing his hand on my shoulder, a gesture that got me to look at him, but even my stubbornness was stubborn. You've been back for a few months now, and I still don't know why we're doing this. Why are you here, and why do you need my help so desperately? I jumped into this partnership, no questions asked. Don't you think I deserve to know? I sigh. He was right. I was giving me a hard time while he was doing everything to keep me comfortable. Suddenly I felt incredibly guilty and small, and didn't have it in me to say sorry, so I finally turned to him, hoping that he would receive the apology through my eyes. A close friend died. Those 4 words already sounded heavy. I looked back down. some kind of gangster barged into our home with hex technology, and it killed her. People had hex tech there, but it was rare, and they only had the crystals to power gadgets up, no gemstones. Many didn't know how to work with crystals, and they frequently exploded on their own. I paused to take a deep breath. I never found out who killed her, where they found a gemstone. I thought I had the last one. That's why I have 2 now. Ekko's eyes widened. You stole his stone? Pretty much. I knew people would make a big fuss about it. They would find out. And after Sarah died, I choked on my words. Sarah? Was that her name? Ekko asked gently. I nodded and let the memories sink in and grab me in my past reality. Misfortune, they called her. She was so influential and compassionate. Practically saved me from my own doom. She was like a sister to me. I tightened the grip on my stomach, trying to fill the emptiness that consumed me. When I came to Zahn, it was easy not to think about her. Nothing reminded me of her. Now, with the recollection swarming in my head, allowing myself to grieve her loss for the first time, tears gushed out of my eyes so quickly. I shut them tight for them to stop, but they spilled out anyway. I don't have anyone again. I cried at her absence, wrecked and twisted my organs inside out. This pain was unbearable. Shh, he said, embracing me tightly. My muscles were too stiff to pull away, so I melted in his arms. You had me, he said. You always had me. I'm gonna fucking kill myself, Joline, and then they cry. Ah!
Oh, I feel ya, I feel ya.
How many chapters are left?
Many.
Oh fuck, we're never getting through this.
We got like 5, 6 more videos.
6 or 7 videos left.
Look, man.
6, 7. Some in my bed.
No, you're good, Suki. You've never committed anything.
I never committed any crimes.
You've never done anything wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. Can't say that for most people out there, but I'm good.
You're so funny.
Thank you. So fucking funny. Oh fuck. I can't wait to see what the wheel gives me. I want Jinx and Ekko because I need them to kiss, but also I really want Teru.
Yeah, I feel ya. I feel ya.
Right.
I'm scared. I don't even want to look at the wheel. I don't even know.
Here, start praying.
Oh shoot, I can hear it. I'm not looking at the wheel. Sorry, I ain't doing it.
No!
What happened?
I wanted to.
Oh, what is it?
Ekko.
Okay. We're back
Jinx.
to this.
Yeah, we're back in the building.
You were so excited to be back here too.
I know. I saw it going over the tear and I was getting excited.
Aww.
See, edging comes back full circle.
Edging.
Edging never changes. Can't catch a fucking break around here, man.
No. Rest in peace, Teru.
Yeah.
Teru.
Rest in peace, my Teru. He got dropped in a volcano.
And then, you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
No, say it.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
You're right. mean Joline.
I'm sorry. I thought it, and I was like, "Ooh, you can't be saying that now."
You're gonna bring up like the dead mom, aren't you?
I was gonna bring up the cannibalism again.
It always comes back to it. It wasn't his
It always
fault.
comes back to cannibalism. What the fuck do you mean? How do you mean the cannibalism wasn't his fault?
Do you want me to explain the lore?
No.
Okay. Then, okay, wait. If you don't want to know the lore about it, then you're not gonna understand why it's not his fault. You're just gonna keep saying
exactly.
it.
I like to be delusional.
I'm trying to educate you.
Okay, fine. Now let's just the lesson in lore.
Okay, the entirety of, like, Class 77 witnessed one of their other classmates, Chiaki, get, like, pretty much gunned down in a maze and killed right in front of them. And there was, like, some hypnotic technology in the monitors that made them glue to it that, like, hypnotized them to full-on despair. So they then, afterwards, faked their deaths and then became, just basically, like, terrorizing the nation and the world with despair as, like, the group of the remnants of despair, and would cause many different horrible travesties to happen up until Day 2 happened. This happens after 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
So basically, like, the tragedy happens because they're running around. Well, the tragedy happens and then they start running around and causing more and more despair. And each one has their own thing of what they do. And Teru, because of his cooking skills, ends up becoming a cannibal because it brings more despair in his eyes. There's some ones that, like, starve themselves to the point of, like, death for despair. There's ones that, like, gun down people in the street. There's ones that, like, there's the princess, she, like, commanded her entire nation to just attack other people and then cause her whole nation, like, her home, to just go in disarray and, like, arson and shit, like, a complete anarchy. So that's what happened. So literally, it's not his fault. He literally did not have free, none of the kids had free will. I call them, well, they're probably, like, 20 during that time, after, like, when the events of, like, 2 take place, they're 20, but, like, they literally had no free will. So, it's not his fault he ate his mom.
I'm sorry, that is such a funny statement. I'm sorry. It's not his fault that he ate his mom.
It's not. He didn't have any control over his mind.
Damn, I guess I'll have to take your word for it.
I guess I'm just gonna have to believe you, I guess. I would never the last thing I want to do is spread misinformation. Just say it. But dear sweet Joline, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for letting me rant about the lore of what happened in between the tragedy and the year 2.
Of course, I feel very educated.
Thank you. I need to, like, just send you the timeline of Danganronpa. That way you can understand everything.
You have to explain it to me. It has to be direct.
Okay. I will try to memorize as many good points, because some of them are, like, not in the games, and they're, like, side stories that happen with the characters in, like, different books, and some of them were never translated to Japanese, so, like, it's hard to find information on them. But I'll try my best for you.
Gotcha.
In the car ride, next time we're hanging out together, I'm just gonna spew, like, Danganronpa lore.
Yeah. It's just gonna be me, like, absolutely. It'll be like 2 hours before I get a word in, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah. To get your attention, I'll, like, dangle, like, I don't know, like, Batman in front of you sometimes. Be like, alright.
You'll have to be like, ooh, Joline, comic book, Joline.
Anyway, back to Danganronpa. Alright, yeah, there is a playlist on screen with all the other Wattpad book covers that are in the past, including with Joline. There is Weirdo, Lego, Honey, and Sage, which, oh my god, Sage is coming back soon, I'm realizing.
Dude, Sage!
I gotta ask them again, but they said, like, your schedule is gonna start clearing up in, like, July, so they might be already back by the time this video comes up, but I gotta re-ask. Also, the last one on screen that I read on the channel was me and Lego reading Emily in Loot. Back at it again with the sandwich throwing on that one. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. It was really good. We actually made the we pulled the book and we pulled up the Spanish version by accident.
Oh, the Spanish version?
Yeah, there was a Spanish version and then they translated it later to English for like.
So. Originally written in Spanish.
Yeah, originally written in Spanish. So we pulled it up and we're like, oh, we can't read the description of this. This is not in English.
No, you guys have to read in Spanish. You have no choice.
But we need to know what's going on.
Well, too bad.
Fuck.
You translate it later. What's the point of all the Duolingo if you don't know the Spanish?
I don't know all the big words.
Well,
I don't know all the big words. I'm stupid.
you gotta learn somehow.
I know. You have any final words, Jolene?
I do not. I hope everyone had a wonderful Pride Month.
Yes. Back to the closet I go.
Truly, truly.
Alright, but on that note, my name is Phoenix, that was Jolene, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Bye!